Ooh, bad luck there, guys. Well, don't worry, I've got my engineer class on. I'll soon have that chopper up and running again. And listen, before you go, can I just ask you to give me a lift into the next town? It's a... Oh, okay. Well, with a bit of luck, maybe you'll get shot down again. And they say that karma's a bitch. Ah, well, never mind. Maybe I might fix this one and... yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to. Listen, if you could just keep your control and give me a lift, that'd be very much appreciated. Awesome. Now I'm on the gun, we can see what we can do, and straight away I can see there's a sniper or something hiding in those hills, so if you'll just keep it steady. Keep it steady. Keep it steady. Where you going? Where you going? Turn back! Turn back, man! Jesus! I don't know, where did you get your pilot's license, McDonald's? Ah, well... bad luck, yes, bad luck indeed. But I don't know, some of the pilots do have a clever little knack or two. You see, I can see a guy in the distance here, and in my mind I think he's mine. But little did I realise that this pilot had other ideas to fly his chopper onto him and squash him like a slug. I guess that's one way to go. Probably not the nicest, but hey, never mind. And just as I think he's about to take off without me and I'm going to get a little bit of rage, he has a change of heart and realises he's got a man on the ground. That's how it works. It's all about teamwork. And I'm not too bad a gunner. I can do my job, I can see enemies, my sight is still valid. And I'm just going to take this car out, and maybe if I can put enough in, then that's the disablement. I don't get the kill, but you know what? Sometimes disabling the vehicle means they have to get out and fix it, and if we've got any other good guys on the ground, maybe they'll mop up the pieces and sweep up after me. This is the fun about Battlefield. It's a whole adventure in itself. The chopper gunner, quite damn accurate. A little bit better than some other guns. You see, to be honest with you, the trick is to have that mutual understanding. He knows where the enemy helicopter is, and all he has to do is stay on course and keep it nice and steady for me. Then I can keep the gun locked on target, and eventually, sure enough, if the guy flying the other helicopter isn't smart, he'll just stay in one place and let me gun him down to shreds. And then as you notice the helicopter crash into the ground, you make a decision, and that's just to get the hell out and float down back into Blighty. Right, down to business. See, I think this game mode is called Conquest, and it's kind of like a Battlefield's version of domination. It's all about flags, capping, and maintaining a long sequence of strongholds over the enemy. Everything works in tickets, somehow, I don't know, I'm still quite to figure that out. And I believe the more flags you cap, the more the tickets decrease and you win the game. Now the one thing I've noticed as a dash away from Call of Duty straight onto this is that people exactly know how to work as a team. Obviously you saw from the beginning, maybe that guy didn't see me when I was repairing his helicopter and doing my good deed for the day. But I guess when you take into account that he crashed 3 times in about 1 minute, it kind of spells out his skill sets. Anyway, never mind. Every now and then the one thing you do find with this is that people really do hang on to your team skills. In the game previous to this, as soon as the game kicked off, a guy jumped in a jeep and proceeded to do a continuation of horn blasting. At first I thought maybe he was trolling like people do in Call of Duty when the game starts and people just stand there firing in the spawn for no apparent reason. But no, what he was actually doing was summoning all of us to get on the guns, jump in the jeep and go and take the flags. And that's exactly what we did. We drove around, we took control of about 3 areas, and to be fair to this guy, he was just driving. He had no gunnery advantage, he was kind of like a sitting duck. But every time we pulled up on a flag we got out and we capped, and he waited. And then as soon as the flag was capped, he bibbed his horn a few times and we jumped back in again like a taxi. Quite an impatient taxi, but you know what, we got the job done. I must say, after playing it a few games, I'm finding that the engineer class seems to be my favourite. I get quite a kick out of disabling an enemy tank, thus causing the inhabitants to jump out and start doing repairs or maybe trying to look for me. Now if you're quick enough you can kill them, but if they're stupid enough and they all jump out to repair, guess what another RPG does to that tank? You've got a nice little triple or multi-kill on your hands. And hey, let's be realistic, who doesn't like a multi-kill every now and then? Now admittedly for the people who don't play Battlefield, they might find it a little bit slow. And that's granted, it's warranted. I understand that completely because the maps are just absolutely astronomical. They're huge in size, and if you don't choose your spawn point correctly at the beginning of each life, you're going to find yourself in for a long road of running. Especially if there's no jets or tanks or jeeps to give you a lift or maybe drive yourself along the way. But for me, I don't know. You see, I'm quite an impatient person in real life, I've said this before. But somehow I find running across the plains, as long as it's not too far, it's quite exhausting, but it can be quite an adventure, and sometimes you might come across a little treat along the way. Go up to those hills and be nice, quiet and stealthy, and you might find yourself a nice little sniper lying on his stomach, waiting for somebody to walk past in the distance. But it all doesn't seem so funny when you put a knife in the back of his neck. But everything in this game is balanced. That's the one key thing that I noticed, the balance is there. I picked up somebody's sniper rifle and I tried shooting somebody with one bullet. It didn't work. I put another one in him, it just tickled him. It took a third and a fourth and then he went on his backside like a dog. None of this no-scope 360 jump off the top of a building and hopefully I might hit him in the face. The only thing I would say that probably isn't balanced is maybe two things. Number one, the shotguns. The shotguns in this game are ridiculous. They are quite powerful and long range. It's devastating, particularly when you're playing close quarters team deathmatch. These things don't just hurt you, they fucking hurt you. The other thing I may say is a little bit overpowered, and maybe I'm speaking a little bit out of turn here because I'm only a novice when it comes to this game. But as far as I'm concerned, the medic class, or whatever class it's called, the guys who run around with the health packs and the defibrillators to bring people back to life, in my opinion, I think there may be something that could be done to take that down a little bit. So I've noticed on a couple of occasions when I was playing on the level that's the subway, again I don't know the names of the maps fully, I was on the top of the stairs and there was a whole bunch of guys trying to make their way up, doing everything in their power to breach our situation. So I cooked a couple of frag grenades and threw them down, and I found myself getting a nice little 4-piece, which really pleased me, especially when you're a novice like me and not that good. These things are gravy. But as I ventured down the stairs to feast my eyes upon my spoils, I noticed that somebody on the other team had practically brought everybody back to life in a matter of seconds. That meant that my life was forfeit, and guess what, there was nobody there to bring me back, so that was a bit of a bitch. But realistically that's just a storm in a teacup. There's nothing too harsh about that, I'm just splitting hairs effectively. So yeah, it's safe to say it's the engineer class all the way for me. Destruction of tanks, repairing of friendlies, that I feel is where my forte lies. And for the first real commentary that I've done about this game, I can honestly say that I'm enjoying the experience. And I hope maybe you like it as well guys, because I'll be happy to do more of these. So please, if you enjoyed watching a bit of Battlefield gameplay and you don't mind me doing some commentaries, let me know and I'll do a few more. Apocalypse done.